Hello, welcome back to How to Cook Great. Today we're making this absolutely beautiful lamb stew. You can see it's packed with an assortment of beautiful vegetables, tomato based, garlic, thyme, oregano. You can add any vegetables you like to this actually. Really delicious. Takes a little while to cook, but is it worth it? Oh yes. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the meat we're using. I'm using a lovely lamb here. I've got lamb shank that I'm using. You could use a different part of the lamb if you want. There's no bone in there, just lovely meat, a little bit of fat, which is going to be essential for this as well. I love that in there. So I've got 1 kg there, which is about 2.2 pounds. So let's take a look at some other ingredients, but it's quite a lot as we go along. I'll show you it as we cook it. So you can see the meat just in the background there. We're also going to start off with 3 cups of onions, 1 cup of celery, a tablespoon of garlic, and then here I've got a teaspoon each. Salt, pepper, oregano, and thyme. If you wanted, you could change that to maybe rosemary. Rosemary works really nicely, doesn't it, with lamb. Let's get moving. So you are going to need a fairly large pot or saucepan or something, because there's quite a lot going in here. I'm starting mine off with 3 or 4 tablespoons of oil. I'm using olive oil, but you can change that if you want. Very simply, we're going to get our meat, which I've cut into lovely sized pieces. And like I said, this is a really nice lamb shank that we're using. Medium heat, I've just put that on. We're going to put in the onion, 3 cups of onion, and the 1 cup of celery. Now, a lot of people really don't like celery, but it's actually in many more things than you realise. Once it cooks down in here, you're not really going to notice it in its physical form or big taste, but it is going to add a nice flavour to this. Okay, so you can see the pot's fairly full already, and there's a lot more to go in, which I'll be showing you a bit later. So medium heat, let's just go for 5 to 6 minutes. Don't have the heat up too high. So that's about 6 minutes. It's just kind of doing its thing. You can see that the heat's not too high, absolutely nowhere near cooked yet. Now we're going to add that garlic. So we've got a tablespoon of garlic here, and then we're going to add, well, what I'm using today, salt, pepper, oregano, and thyme. Like I say, you can change that if you wanted to. Let's go for another 4 minutes on this medium heat, stirring often, and then I'll next up show you the next ingredients that we're going to be adding in. So for the next stage, we're going to add 3 cups of fresh tomatoes. Try and use a nice ripe juicy tomato, 1 cup of tomato paste, and then 2 cups of carrots. Now you can choose the vegetables you want. I'm going to be going with 2 cups of carrots, bell peppers, zucchini or courgette, whatever you call them. I've got some mushrooms here, and potatoes. So all you're doing is you add in the hardest vegetables first. In this case, it's the carrots. Those onions, the garlic, the celery are cooking down really nicely as the lamb starts to cook well. Right, so let's put those carrots in. And I've cut mine in rounds. You can cut them in a different way if you want. 3 cups of fresh tomatoes, 1 cup of the tomato paste. Now what we're going to do is we need to go again on this medium heat, 6 or 7 minutes. Again, stirring fairly often. Those tomatoes will cook down further as the process goes on, and they might give off some moisture. Really delicious. So let's just get back to our vegetables. Roughly 2 cups, some are slightly more than others. Zucchini, courgette, kusa, whatever you call it. Cut it that kind of size, you can see that. The bell peppers, I'm using red, but of course use a different color if you want. A kind of rainbow of colors in there would be nice. That sort of size. The potatoes, I peeled them, cut them as you can see. And then the mushrooms that I'm using. So I just took the stalk off. I'm just going to put them in whole. Again, if you want, slice them up. So this is really looking like something now. Looking absolutely fabulous, really good. What we're going to do now is I'm going to add the potatoes. Now, by the way, I don't mind if my potatoes cook right down and become very mushy. They kind of add to the sauce and that here. And now I'm going to add 250 ml of stock. Now you can use a chicken stock, a beef stock, a lamb stock, a vegetable stock, or if you wanted, you could use water, or if you fancied it, maybe a bit of wine or something. Okay, we're going to stay on this medium heat. We're now going to go for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to give it a stir every now and then. Obviously the other vegetables we've got, the peppers, the mushrooms, and the courgettes or zucchinis, they will cook really quick, so you don't want them to go in yet. But if you've got any other hard vegetables, parsnips or any other kind of root vegetables like that, you want to be getting them in now, I think. So I'm now at a point, I've just tasted that lamb, beautiful, beautifully tender. And that's because I used a really nice shank, but if you use something different, you might need to go a bit longer. And this is looking delicious. So what we're going to do is we're now going to add our last vegetables. They can all go in. They kind of cook roughly at the same time. So the mushrooms, I put in the red bell pepper and the zucchini kusa or courgette, whatever you call that. Again, we're going to stay on this medium heat and we're going to cook this for about 6 minutes and then take a look. We might want to add some more stock or moisture to it. Give it a stir every now and then. So this is looking absolutely fabulous if you ask me. Now I've got a little bit of moisture there, mostly from the mushrooms I think as they cook down. But I'm going to add a bit more. I'm just going to add water this time. 250 ml. So we've put half a litre of water in this total, the stock and the water. Just going to let it go now, maybe another 5, 6, 7 minutes. The meat's already beautiful. Get those vegetables to how you like it. Yeah, look at that. Okay, look, I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm done. I think that's absolutely beautiful. I've got here half a cup of parsley, a flat leaf parsley that I'm going to add. Some fresh rosemary, a bit of thyme maybe, could be good, couldn't it? But I like that in there. Check it for salt, it's good for me. We've got ourselves a really hearty, beautiful lamb stew packed with goodness in a kind of Mediterranean style. Okay, and there you have it. That really is beautiful, really, really full of goodness. Loving that one. I hope you enjoy that. You keep safe, you keep well, and I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Hello everyone, an update about the cookbooks. Well, the first one is now finally available. It's on Amazon, you can get it in an ebook, $3.99, very, very cheap, 195 pages of wonderful food from the Indian continent. It's flicking by you right now. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and please buy that. It helps the channel out a great deal. It's also available in paperback if you want that. Check the link below this video. You can just click that, buy it. Thanks a lot. Lots of love.